Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Pick up. If you just right click it, it throws it. It just hits it away from you. No. Okay, I can't cut the bale open, which means the only way I'm going to be able to get a little bit of... Oops. The only way I'm going to be able to get the 70 litres left is if I go and use the mower and cut just the tiniest little sliver and bale up grass with it. But in real life, you would not be left with 70 litres remaining on your bale. So I'm quite happy with... move that over and do that. I'm quite happy to go and do this. It might seem a little tiny bit cheaty, and probably is a little tiny bit cheaty, but I don't feel that I'm particularly cheating with this. It's not... I'm literally just going to take a little bit right here just to be able to make this bale, because it's so little that is needed in order to complete this bale. It just seems messed up. So I'm just going to do that and lift that up, and then I'm going to switch to that one. Right, that's gone up to 58, and I think because I got such a small amount in here, it's also going to... It's not even going to change it from straw... Well, I'm hoping it won't change it from straw into grass when it completes, because it does sometimes. I need another 16 litres. That's it. Which I think is literally just one section cut there. Will be enough? No, I need another 8 litres. I can do this. We can do this. In real life, we wouldn't be doing this. We would just take the bale out. The bale would be fine. You know, that would be enough to be classed as a full bale. And it's classed as straw anyway. Like, there's such a small quantity of grass gone in there that the baler itself is classing it as straw. So it really, we haven't done anything wrong here as far as I'm concerned. We haven't done anything wrong at all. So that one's going to pop out. Like that. We'll shut that one off. Noisy fella that he is. We will run round here. First up, I will put the mower back there, like that. Lower that one down and unhitch that one. And then I will come back over here. So I'm going to want the front weight back on for picking up all of the bales in the field. So pick you up. And then the baler, we will simply leave that one right there. So that's just winding down that jack there ferociously fast, and there he goes. He's not going to run away from there and disappear off down the hill, is he? I hope not. It's just, I just hope not. I hope that doesn't happen. And we'll run up here and we can go and get the trailer. So we're going to put the trailer on and we're going to test out now and the new level platform that we've gone and built. Because we can only apparently pick up 6 bales at a time up here on this field. It will not let us pick up any more than that. Or at least we've tried on the slope, but we were able to pick up a little bit more than that. When we were doing the collecting of the bales from the field up above us. But that was before the update for the autoload. So the update for the autoload may have changed things a little bit. So let's see what this does for us. We've got that one. It's on a bit of a slope. See, it puts it all the way up there, and then it sort of tries to drop it down. No, it's not doing it. It's not having it. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. So I'll bring this down. I'm curious now what is going to happen. I'm going to take it down and I'm going to unload these 6 onto the level platform that we've now gone and made. So we drive down there and they go and unload on the level platform like that. Okay, the auto load is not enabled. That's good because I don't want to be loading up these silage bales. And I'll come back up over here and I will get another 6 of these like that. There. Put that one in there like that and disable the auto load. And then I'll bring this down here and this is going to be the ultimate test now. Dead flat, will it work? I mean, if it doesn't, I can always unload the bales again, and then we will see. So if I bring it up to that point, I'll take the straps right off, and yes! Okay, we can load 12 bales, but they have to be done on a level platform. So we've at least confirmed that we can do that. So there's 12 bales there that we've loaded, and we've got more that we will be able to load. I've got to take them all the way down here, and the only place that we can actually sell them, we can take them to Felsborough or we sell them at the animal dealer. It's going to have to be the animal dealer because I'm not loading them onto the train. That's going to take forever, and I've got no real way of doing it. So yeah, we're going to go and do that. Something that I was wanting to talk about, I do very occasionally, I do talk about it because I know, well, I have issues with it, and that's mental health. And the reason I like to talk about it from time to time is because there's still a lot of stigma applied to mental health problems. There's still a lot of people that think, well, you shouldn't be talking about that. I have depression, and I am a lifelong sufferer. Well, I don't like the word sufferer. Sufferer is wrong. Depression, well, yes, you could apply the word sufferer to depression, but there's also neurodivergency is quite a popular term these days, and basically what it means is just people who think differently. And so I have ADHD, and it's something I've had my entire life. It's not something that you just, you develop one day. It's something you have. It's something you're born with. And I also have autism. I'm quite strongly autistic, and I have ADHD. And there's a lot of stigma applied to these things. And there's a lot of people that are worried about applying labels to themselves or to family members with those things. And sometimes it might be a bit of a problem, having that label, but I've never really, I've never had an official diagnosis. I know that I've got them, and I know how to kind of manage them, and I know the different traits that that can be involved. Now, ADHD, when you first start to think about it in children, the thing that it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I don't know why we have to say disorder, because I don't really feel disordered. The thing with ADHD is that the hyperactivity bit is the bit that always seems to be focused on. People always seem to focus on that bit, and they think of children bouncing off the walls constantly forever. That's not true. That's a bit of a misnomer. Yes, you will often find that children have got plenty of, they're hyperactive, but that's not because of ADHD. That's just a normal childhood thing anyway. Like, children do tend to just bounce off the walls, is what they do. The attention deficit thing, it basically means that a child and an adult with it, what we do is we focus on something very intensely for a short period of time, but we also lose interest in things quite quickly. And while you're focused on something, it's the only thing that you're interested in. So someone with ADHD has a very addictive personality. And I know I've got a very addictive personality. If I get into a new game, that is the only thing I want to do. Like, all of my focus is on that new game. And I'm really into that new game. Gaming is a big thing for me. I can easily get caught up in gaming. Someone with ADHD is going to have a very, very vivid and active imagination. They're going to be able to... their mind is constantly running and jumping and going through all kinds of hoops and everything. Someone with ADHD, if they're... Not everybody is able to focus their attention on reading, but reading is quite common. Reading a lot, devouring a huge number of books is quite common in someone with ADHD, because you're devouring all these stories. These stories are just amazing. They're constantly giving you new things to focus on. And the issue with it is that our mind runs faster than normal. That's what is basically happening, is the mind of someone with ADHD is operating at a considerably faster level than normal. So we need to have this focus on all the time. Like, we're very, very easily distracted. The daydreaming occurs constantly and things like that, because our minds are just all over the place and they're wandering. And it's difficult for us to be able to focus. Now, it's not impossible for us to focus, and we learn how to do it. I'm going to undo those straps, and there we go. Sell all that lot. 2,000 for sold bales for 12 bales. That's not too bad, actually. We'll go and we get another load now. We've got to drive all the way back up and get the next load. I think we'll take the back road rather than trying to go up the really steep hill, because I think it's actually faster. So someone with ADHD will read an awful lot of books, and their experience reading the book, they're imagining the worlds that are being described extremely vividly. And someone without ADHD may not sort of build up that picture quite as much, quite as vividly. I mean, you might not. I don't really know. All I can do is speak from my own experiences and having spoken to other people with the same sort of state of mind. We build up these images very, very quickly. So a film... A lot of people like to have plenty of special effects and, you know, a really well-made film and so on. Someone with ADHD, the film doesn't have to be well-made. The special effects don't have to be very good at all, if any, because we fill the rest in with our mind anyway. And so it sort of, yeah, we can sort of do the rest of it. And I know people with ADHD who don't like watching some newer films because there's so much detail on the screen, and so their mind isn't working to fill in all of the missing details that should be there. And on top of that, you've got the script that's sort of moving along at the set pace of the film, and they're having to literally slow their minds down in order to follow along with the film. There's no way that they can speed things up and get through it faster, and it becomes quite tedious. And this is something that I've noticed from different people, and it's something that I found myself. An older film that really isn't something... For example, say Willow. I don't know if any of you ever watched Willow with Val Kilmer in it, and I can't remember the other guy's name, the one that plays Willow, well, he is technically a dwarf. I don't know if dwarf is a politically correct term or not, but he is actually clinically a dwarf. I can't remember his name, which really bugged me now. But anyway, Willow. It's an absolutely fantastic film, but it's really blatantly bad in some places, like the computer animation in the film in certain places. Okay, I'm not... What's going on here? I know what's going on. My steering wheel is genuinely... I'm starting to have some issues with my steering wheel. The buttons aren't quite working properly. I'm going to have to get a new one, I think. It keeps overriding the... oh, what do you call it? The... Cruise control! Cruise control is what I'm looking for. Keeps overriding the cruise control, and it's starting to cause problems, so I think I'm going to end up having to get a new one fairly soon. But anyway, I was talking about the the older films. So something like Willow, it's blatantly obvious that the filming is not great on that. You know, it's a fantastic film, and I really, really love it. But you've got like puppets, and you've got the special effects are not brilliant. So my mind is like filling in all the details and smoothing over all of that. And I know it's not real, but that actually helps me get into the film a lot more. And because my mind is working overtime, smoothing out all of that and making the experience, as I'm watching it, I'm sort of losing track of all that, and I'm getting pulled into this world, which my mind is like filling in all of the edges on. And it's brilliant. But then when I go and watch one of the new films that come out, I've never really gotten into the Avengers and so on. But, you know, when I try and watch one of those, they've pretty much done everything for you. And they've put in a whole load of detail, but it doesn't always feel quite right. But because there's so much detail there's not really a lot you can add to that picture in my mind's eye, and I lose interest in the film. That does cause me to lose interest in the film a lot more. The other thing is, someone with ADHD, I know a lot of people who have it who don't particularly like watching films full stop, because they have to slow themselves down so much in order to be able to watch it that it just isn't enjoyable. Whereas reading a book, they can read it as fast as they want, and their mind can process that information really, really quickly. The hyperactivity bit is where, so you can focus really well, and your mind is working a lot faster, but the hyperactivity bit is actually, that's sort of where the problem lies for us. It doesn't mean that we're bouncing off the walls. It means that we lose interest in things very, very quickly. Mostly. It's not always that, but that is one of the big issues, is that we lose interest in things very, very quickly. So something has got to be interesting for us to maintain focus on it. If it's not, it's very, very, very difficult to focus. Extremely difficult to focus on it. And I've always had this issue. I really can't focus on something if I don't find it interesting. And that's when it comes to studying, when it comes to school work and things like that, it does make life really difficult. So when you've got a child with ADHD, focusing on school work becomes a very, very difficult thing to do. Now, if you can do things like have fidget toys and stuff like that, it does actually help and benefits them hugely, and I've found that it helps me as well. Just helps me to keep that little tiny bit of focus that I need in order to be able to complete whatever it is that is being completed at the time. And so it's not a huge thing, but it does make a difference. Just something as small as having a fidget toy to be able to mess around with while I'm trying to focus. And I do that. I've got, like, on my desk, I've got a dozen different fidget toys of various different types that I use all the time. When I come to doing my editing, and when I'm editing anything, I've almost always got a fidget toy in one hand that I'm using constantly, all the time. It's just using it, and I'll use that one and I'll use it for a bit, and then I'll switch to another fidget toy and I'll start using that one, and so on, just to try to help me focus on the thing that I'm doing there. And I think that's possibly why if I've got stuff to talk about while I'm playing this game and I'm filming, then everything is fine. But if I'm not sort of thinking too much about what I can be talking about, I find it difficult to try and fill in the gaps, and that can be a little bit of a challenge. But it's that losing interest, losing focus. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult, and that's something that we do have to learn to overcome as we get older. And there are various different ways that you can do that. There's various different tricks and so on that you can employ in order to make it work. They don't always work, but they do most of the time. So there you have it. There's ADHD and autism. I've talked about that before quite a lot. I just wanted to talk a little bit about ADHD, because I know that there's quite a few people that do have it, and there's a stigma applied to it still, and there doesn't need to be. There's absolutely no need for any kind of stigma to be applied to it whatsoever, because it's not something to be ashamed of or worried about or anything else. It's just part of what makes a person the person they are. ADHD can make you incredibly creative because you're constantly searching for new inspiration, new things to do, new things to try. And when you find something that grabs you, excuse me, when you find something that grabs you, you focus on it. Like, it's all about that. So I did a little bit of stone carving a couple of years ago, and I quite enjoyed doing that. The thing with physical hands-on jobs like that is that you can do that, and I very, very quickly am not paying any attention whatsoever to the task in hand. So if I'm creating something that's really small and really intricate, and like, so with the stone carving, I was doing some relief carving, and I bought myself a little engraver, and I was doing some complex engraving, so only a quarter of my mind was focusing on the engraving, and the rest of me was just kind of away with the fairies, daydreaming, and so on. And it's a really, really good thing, because it helps you come up, you know, it gives you inspiration for all kinds of things, and just setting your mind loose like that, it can really help you as well, and it can help you to sort of find new ideas and think up new inspiration and all sorts. And then if you get something that's like particularly difficult and tricky with whatever it is that you're crafting at the time, you can then bring all of your attention to focus on just that, and there's a lot of attention and focus there with, you know, with being ADHD. Like, you can really concentrate on it and bring that in. I don't know if I'm making any sense to anybody. I don't know if anybody's resonating with any of this that I've been burbling on about for, I don't know, 20 minutes. But that's kind of, I just want to talk about it a bit, because I do see things written down here and there, and the odd comment here and there about, you know, negative, and, you know, maybe one day we'll be able to have a cure for autism and ADHD and so on. It's not something that needs to be cured. It doesn't. It's, well, I don't believe it's something that needs to be cured. I've never felt the need to be cured of either autism or ADHD. Autism, that one, again, it's something that makes you want to focus really intently on things, but you tend to be less about losing interest quickly in things. You tend to, you know, with autism, you tend to be more, you'll focus on something for a very long time, and that's kind of like, you know about this thing, and you want to learn everything there is to know about it. You don't generally care about what's, it's not that you don't care, it's that you struggle to identify other people's feelings and emotions. You can emulate them, but you don't necessarily think and feel them all at the same time. But autism has got such a wide range that it's very difficult to sort of sum it all up. Like Anthony Hopkins, very famous actor. He's autistic. He's very, very strongly autistic. He can imitate other people. He can copy them really, really well. But when you read accounts of other people in his life, it's very clear that he's got very little empathy for other people. He doesn't understand how his actions affect them and how his actions affect their feelings. And I've had to work really, really hard my whole life to try to gain any kind of understanding in how my actions can affect other people's feelings, because I've always tended to just say things, right, well, that's how I'm feeling, that's how it is. Someone asks you a question, do you like this? No, not really. That might hurt someone's feelings, but it took me a very, very long time to even comprehend the fact that they could be upset and hurt by it. They asked me if I liked it. No, I don't. Okay, end of. And if I'm asking a question and someone else says, no, I don't like it, okay, end of. They don't like it. And then I move on. And so that's it. And it's understanding emotion. This is kind of, can be quite a big thing with people with autism, is that they struggle to do that. That's something that is quite difficult to sort of grasp. Mr. Bale there. Let's get that last one. So we got 1,572. That's right. Yeah, 1,572 euros for that second lot. So we ended up with about 3,500 in total for the straw, which paid for some of the level platform that we went and built. Didn't pay for it all. I would say, well, I suppose by the time we had the hired help taken out, the platform there, we're looking at just under 2,000 euros that we've invested into that platform that we didn't get back via the straw. That's not too bad. That's not too bad, really. Before we go back up to the mountain, I want to go and get a bit of fuel for this tractor. And then I think what we will do is we can skip the night and... well, actually, we're going to want to start skipping lots of nights now. We can get a cultivator going. We'll put the cultivator on the John Deere and we'll start moving along with that one so that one can start cultivating the field. He should have enough fuel to be able to finish all of that. And then I think we'll be fine. We just need to be skipping nights and then gather up the produce and the wool as well. We want the wool down and processed into fabric so that it's ready for the tailor. And we want to be getting money from the greenhouse produce as much as possible and as quick as possible before, like, December-ish. I'm hoping that December-ish, because, well, December is when we can be selling the silage. So we'll be selling silage in December, hoping that we'll make around 30 grand from that, which means that we've still got 30,000 that we need to make. That might not be as easy as I first thought, because I don't think there's any way we're going to be making 30,000 euros from what we have got. Okay, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to... you know what? No, I'm going around the wrong way on the roundabout. That was probably not the best way to do things. I'm going to go up this way this time. I know I said that I didn't really want to because it's a bit more of a slog and it makes the tractor struggle, but I think we'll be alright. And we'll see what we can do. So, autism, ADHD, like, there's all kinds of traits in there, and you'll find that a lot of specialists in various different fields really, particularly ones who specialize quite strongly in one given subject, that's an autism thing, because they have that fierce focus on it all the time. Someone with ADHD has that fierce focus, but the fierce focus moves quite substantially. So when you combine autism and ADHD, you've got a very addictive personality who will quickly chop and change between various different interests. My wife has often joked that I don't have a hobby. Well, it's not that I collect things, because I do have a hobby. I've got various hobbies. I collect various different things. Gaming is quite a big part of my life as well. But she's often joked that I collect collections. I've got collections of all different kinds of things, and I collect hobbies as well. I collect everything. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.